Hi, this is Comet Troy of Linden Camp, an RV park I'm developing 5 minutes southeast of Linden, Tennessee. This is week 2 of our 4-week mini-series on excavation work at Linden Camp.
The fire has gotten outside of my fire pit. I'm sad to say I just backed into my first.
Today we're going to be showing the process to do the actual excavation. In week 1 we removed the trees and cleared the land, so in week 2 we're going to be actually grading the property, moving some dirt from point A to point B. We're going to be moving some chert around and just generally laying out the land the way we want it from a landscape perspective. All the videos are linked down below. If you haven't watched week 1 yet, I suggest you go back and watch that before you watch this to get a bearing. And before that, there's a whole series of videos on the whole construction that are part of a playlist that's also linked down below in the description. Week 3 and 4 are also linked down below, so you can watch those next weeks as well. At this point, we've gone through 4 calendar days. We had 2 days of the contractor on site and then a weekend, which consists of 2 days, and now it's Monday. The contractors cleared the area up front where the build site's going to go. They built a fire. They started clearing the trees back for the new driveway. They hauled the topsoil from the berm over to the other property. They fixed up the original driveway, the old logging path, hunting path, whatever you want to call it. They scraped all the mud off of that and got a nice firm surface for me to drive the RV on. They put some drainage in there, so if it does rain on that path, it will drain off properly. Then came the weekend. They came back and tended to the fire, and then I had to go out and restake off where the build site was going to be. So now we are here on Monday. The contractors already cleared the trees from where the new driveway is going to go. They left a lot of tree potholes and where the roots had been, and it's just real choppy and just not a good driveway surface. So the objective today is pretty simple. We are going to remove the high area of the build site, and we're going to repurpose that chert that we dig out of there. We're gonna move that to start building the driveway back. So we're gonna spread it out there, and we're also gonna spread it down where the shop is gonna go, and we're gonna push some of that chert over there to build that up so it's even with the road. So we're gonna take down where the apartment and office is gonna go. We're gonna take that down. We're gonna bring up the shop area, and then we're also going to put it on the driveway. So let's go ahead and watch those clips from that day back on April 11th.
Hi, it's Comet Troy. It's April 11th, about 8 o'clock in the morning, 60 degrees, very cloudy, and rain expected today. The contractors are here, so we're going to go check on and see what's going on.
Well, the fire is still smoldering a little bit from Friday when they lit it. It's raining right now, or sprinkling, I should say. They're predicting a lot of rain the next couple of days. I'm a little concerned it's going to set us back.
So here the guys are working on the build site. The office and apartment we want level with the road, and we want the shop level with the road too. But the problem is that the road actually drops down about 2 feet as it goes north. So we actually have a tiered build, where the office and apartment is 2 feet higher than the shop floor. So what you see here is the excavator is digging out the chert from the office apartment area and piling it up so the bulldozer can take it and disperse it to the shop and down the driveway. You may be asking, why the bulldozer doesn't just, push the chert over. Well, it's very hard, so the excavator has to, break it loose so the bulldozer can push it.
I just heard the machines all shut down for lunch break, so I'm going to go up and see what's going on with the build. This is day 3, so I'm really curious to see what's been done. They were working on taking out a couple more trees, and they shot the build site as far as elevation goes, and they were Gonna start working on that, getting that all elevated flat and 6 inches above the road grade, so the water would run off appropriately. And then gravel and cement on top of that will bring it up the surface of the building to, you know, a foot or more above the road. So let's go see what's going on.
So I'm up front here and ruh-roh, what is this? I see a toolbox and the engine compartment open to the track hoe. It might not be a lunch break after all, but a breakdown break. I hope this doesn't delay our project.
Well, the track hoe seems to be down right now. So they're running the dozer, packing down some of the build surface so we can get a good driveway in here and build up that lower area where the shop is gonna go. Well, the rain has stopped and the driveway continues to be built behind me. They're making really good progress and they're putting the hard top coat down now. Well, maybe it's not the top coat, but they're putting a hard base down. And I'm not sure if chert goes on top of that or what. I'm just learning as I go along here. But they're hauling a lot of the hard rock and clay from the front of the property and dumping it in this new driveway. Hi, this is Comet Troy. It's April 12th, and when I woke up this morning, it's about 60 degrees. There was a strong chance of scattered thunderstorms. Today, we are hoping to get the temporary site by the road ready for an RV to park there and get some power close to the pole. We're going to work on finishing the build site, laser leveled and ready for a building to be constructed. And also the driveways. We're going to be doing a lot of work on the driveways today.
So one of the first things that was foreign to me when I started developing the land in Tennessee was the word chert. I never heard of chert before. Chert is a fine, and we'll put a description up here on the screen from a Wikipedia or Webster or something that gives you the dictionary definition. But out here, chert is a very fine, natural occurring silicate, I believe, that is used to build foundations. Foundations for driveways, foundations for build sites, foundations for parking lots, and it's very hard. And when it's packed down, it's literally as hard as concrete. I know I've tried to pound some tent stakes into them, just put some tarps, and it gets really hard. And the chert out here is natural occurring, as you can see in this pile here. This is a lot of the land out here has chert as the foundation, and it's naturally occurring in a lot of the Tennessee highlands like we have here on our property. Our chert here on site is more of a brownish reddish color, and it comes in different colors. There's white, there's kind of a brownish red, and everything in between. So I just wanted to take a second to explain what chert was. So here the bulldozer is scraping off that 2-foot drop down and pushing it out into the holler to extend that side.
We actually ran out of chert from the front of the property, and there's no more left to spread around to finish this driveway. So we're actually trucking some chert in from a local supplier, and that is the lighter yellow stuff behind me. There's been a load or two dropped here already, and they're starting to spread this as they truck it in. And behind this is the chert that came from the front of the property of the darker color. So you can see the difference.
So one of the things that I wanted to do was I wanted to build a turnaround area for big rig RVs to be able to come in and do a complete turnaround. If they had a trailer or they're towing something behind, I didn't want to have to be able to, back up and go forward and, try to maneuver into there. So as you can see here, we're actually, building that turnaround area. We didn't have enough chert from the front of the property on site, so we actually had to truck a whole bunch in. I don't know how many loads it was. It seems like there was always a dump truck showing up, bringing in, more loads of chert. I don't know, 12, 15, 20. I'm only guessing. But, this is the turnaround area we ended up making for the RVs. So very pleased with the work that was done in that day. We got the driveway covered in, we covered with chert. We got the turnaround area, the first pass build, and I was so excited to get my RV out there. So here we are at the end of April 12th. Not the end of April 12th, it's actually the end of the Contractors' April 12th day. They had left and gone home for themselves, and I had this, this new stuff to start playing with. I was super excited. We had made a lot of progress up to date so far. We've had, 4 days of the Contractors on site. We had 2 days of me work on the weekend, and now the Contractors are left for Easter break, and I'm left to my own devices on site. This is probably one of the most stressful days I've ever had on Linden Camp. So I'm going to take you through this this evening of April 12th, which is quite a doozy. And so strap in your seatbelts and get ready for this. The evening started out just like any other evening after the Contractors left, where I walked around and kind of checked things out. And then I got the new turnaround area all set, and the new driveway was there, and I was super excited. I hadn't driven on it yet, so I wanted to take a first lap on it, and I have video of that, dash cam video of me taking that first lap. So I'm going to go ahead and take that with you. So let's buckle on up and take that first lap.
Hi, it's Comet Troy, and Penelope and I are going to take our very first lap around the park. Let's go down the other side for the very first time. Here we go. Woohoo! So here's you coming from the road, but here's where you'd go into the shop, a 40 by 70 shop, and then you'd come out the other end here, and then this is the main road here. And then big rigs would come down here to the end, and then I made a loop here so they have plenty of room to come in and hopefully swing. So here's the path that they would take, and then go out the way we just came in. Now this first part down here is going to be pull-through sites. So this is site number 9 here on the right, and right about here is where you'd park. I know you can't see the view off to the right. And then you'd exit this way, and then the new guy would come in, or the next guy would come in here in 7 and park over here, and then exit to the left. And then here's site number 3 on the right. They would actually pull in more like this. So the main road on the left here would be available for campers to leave, and then when they go, they would pull out. And then here's site number 1. This really turned out to be a beautiful site. Now I have to move the RV out of the back. I guess I don't have to move it, it's just not very level back there. So I gotta figure out where I'm gonna put that. So we're gonna park that back in there. That was a nice spot for my truck. And then I'm gonna get ready to move the rig out here. I got some electricians coming sometime tonight to look at putting a temporary pole up by the road. Hopefully I don't back into a tree here. It is time to move the RV onto, drum roll please, onto our new driveway surface. Check this out. Well, tonight was not a good night for parking the RV. I was too excited to get parked on my new driveway, and I backed into that tree you can see right in the middle of the screen, and I messed up the side here and cracked a little bit of, that's a fiberglass cone. So, and I cracked some of the fiberglass here, but I suppose it can be fixed. And this corner was kind of already messed up anyway from Country Thunder, when there was a bunch of kids climbing down my ladder and broke it off. So this corner was kind of already messed up. So if I was gonna mess up a corner, this is the corner to do it. I always gotta look at the bright side, right?
So yeah, that was kind of unfortunate. It's just stuff, so no big deal, I guess. But just wait. So I got the RV moved on there, and I do, you know, IT work for a big bank, and I started getting paged that, you know, that there was a problem with some technology I'm responsible for. So I'm trying to, you know, trying to get my RV moved onto the RV site. I backed into a tree. I'm bummed for there. I'm trying to, you know, put the slides out, you know, get my office set up so I can work in and do the RV stuff. And so I'm trying to, you know, get all that set up, and I'm kind of, you know, putting off the pages I'm getting, you know, for a second. But then if you ignore them too long, then they get escalated to your boss and their boss's boss. So I'm kind of under pressure to, you know, get the RV moved in and you know, get everything, get the slides put out, get the computer set up. So it was starting to get very stressful. So that takes me to the next thing, which I don't know if you're going to believe this. I have some video showing it, so I guess you won't be able to dispute it that much. So early in the day, I had gathered up some rocks, and I made a fire pit in my area. And you know, like I said earlier, I don't like, you know, little campfires. We're talking about a fire pit that's, you know, 20 feet in diameter across, kind of a fire pit, where I can put my own big sticks on there and have a, you know, a big fire. I grabbed a bunch of rocks from up front of the build site, you know, where the chert was, and arranged the rocks around, and then I started burning some brush that was around there and making my own little bonfire, and I was, you know, super excited. You know, I cleaned that up. I was looking forward to, you know, grabbing a lawn chair and maybe have an adult beverage and just relax. And while I'm setting up my RV, so the fires are, so I already got a fire going, you know, when I did the lap, and you know, the fire was still going when I did the RV thing, and I put the RV on there, and all of a sudden, I look out the window of the RV, and check this out.
Oh no, this isn't good. The fire has gotten outside of my fire pit. Well, gotta grab the rake. Well, at least I think we got it under control. It's not spreading anymore, at least. There's the fire pit where it's supposed to be. And then I got this one down here that jumped out. But it's going to burn itself out. So, no, I'm going to have to keep an eye on this until it's back under control. Well, that was a close call. I had fire burning about a 15-foot diameter radius out here. I got her back under control though by raking all the fuel back so it couldn't spread any further. Still got to keep a really close eye on it though. So here's the campfire pit the next day on April 13th. I built the fire pit on the 13th and had my first fire. And when I was busy, the fire jumped out of the fire circle and did a burn of the forest, part of it. I don't really want to call it a forest fire. That just sounds a little too serious. Let's just call it a controlled burn of the forestry layer.
So I'm a spiritual person, and I was looking for answers of why all this stress was happening to me all at the same time. And you know, I had to point a finger at something, and that's where I came up with the term of the witchery tree. So there's this tree that I had. This is the tree where I looked at the bulldozer operator and did this, and the tree was gone in 20 seconds. And I'm not sure if we got to that part yet in this video, but maybe it's coming. But I had a tree taken out, and this was a really odd looking tree, like none I'd ever seen before. It had like fish scales on the outside of it. And you know, here's some video and some pictures of it. And it was just a weird, like, you know, pagan witchcraft looking tree that I call the witchery tree, that I had pushed into the woods. And I was wondering if maybe that tree was getting some revenge on me. I know, it's crazy, but that's, you know, sometimes what goes on in my head. So that's why I call it the witchery tree. And here's a picture of it where we pushed it into the woods, and I kind of still, you know, wonder if maybe there was something spooktacular going on there. No, I'm not crazy. I don't think I am, at least. But that was kind of the cap on my evening, was thinking about that witchery tree. I did take care of the work page issue. I did contain the fire successfully, and I ended up having a peaceful night, finally sleeping on the new driveway surface. But oh boy, was that a stressful time, I tell you. So a lot of work done there with the excavation, moving dirt around, and generally making the land suitable for a build site. I hope you enjoyed it. Stick around for week 3. That's coming up next, where we actually do the finished product of laser leveling build sites and finishing the driveway and putting chert on it, making a nice hard surface, and working on rain runoff and drainage. And if you found this video helpful, entertaining, like, subscribe, ring the bell. That's what keeps us going to make more video, and I will see you in the next video. Newsflash, that's an invasive tree that doesn't belong here, and it literally makes tens of thousands of seeds a year, and it will take over the whole forest. And that is typically what you'll see for excavator charges out there.